Welcome to the BitBoy Show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be taking a look at some really interesting articles today, for sure. There are some things on going on in the world of crypto, really the world of trading, that I think is just really fascinating and really interesting. Can't do that. Hold on, let me get this down here. Yeah. All right, I'm running different computers at the same time today, so we'll see what happens, how this goes. Okay, so let's start here. I think this is a good place to start. Hold on one second. Okay. Guys, we are seeing some stuff in the institutional markets that are going to have a massive impact on crypto. And the thing is in the past, we've all been waiting for these bear markets, and we've been waiting for exactly the right time to go in. However, we are now going to get extended bull runs, and we may get maybe not higher prices, but there's just such an interesting thing is going on with the institutions. So let's start here with this article. No, let's not do that. Let's actually go to CoinGecko first. CoinGecko. We always go to CoinGecko. There we go. All right. So looking at the numbers, we have the market cap at 3.996 trillion. It's about to go back over 4 trillion potentially. We'll have to see. I think Bitcoin's. I'm in a short myself right now, which reminds me, if you guys would like to join our trading group, Traders.bitboy.Deals. That's funny. There you go. Did that go through? There we go. And then I'm going to click it here so you guys see it. So this down here is the link to get to our new trading group we have. We're going to be doing a trading competition with Phemex. Going to be happening very soon, starting on the 15th, I believe. So starting next Monday. So you want to go ahead and get your Phemex account and get going with that. Sign up so you can, get access. It's not just me who will be talking about trading. There's a lot of people that come in and will share charts. I'm going to be showing you guys the trades that I get into and why I got into them. And so if you guys are really interested in that, then make sure that you sign up. All you got to do is go to Traders.bitboy.Deals. So there we go. That was my shill on my trading group. Let's come here and look at what's going on with this here. Okay, so like we said, 1.7% up, a little bit bullish, 122 billion. That's about standard for right now. And then Bitcoin at 56.2 and Ethereum at 13.2%. We are going to look at a story today where we're going to talk about is the rotation, the institutional rotation into Ethereum from Bitcoin, is that complete? There are a lot of things that would suggest that. So we're going to take a look at that as well. Okay. Got gas. Nobody cares about that. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin coming in at 112,783. We will refresh and make sure that is the last one, 112,785. I have a short open right now. I opened it at 12,650, around in between there and 112,700. So I am down on my trade about $8 right now. But the thing is, Bitcoin has not been able to get to this 13.6 per or 13,600 range. That's the number it's really got to get over to kind of be bullish again. And we've been here knocking on the door all weekend, and it just keeps getting rejected. So that's why I put in a short. We'll see what happens with it. I think, I'm only 3x. So, not a huge risk at 3x. If it does go to, I think I put 114,100 is my stop loss. So if it goes and it breaks 13.6, breaks it strongly and gets up to 114, then it's time to reverse that trade into a long. Which, here's a tip for you guys. A tip for you guys is, man, I read the screen and I totally drew a blank there. I read this comment from X21 Records. People forget that you told them about Sweet, Ondo, Pith, and Pepe. We don't forget. Sorry, guys, we're the earliest on the best coins, the most, for sure. All right, we're going to be talking about Solana and XRP a little bit today. XRP up 3.3%. We got world coins up. I mean, these are great altcoin season-ish numbers. We just like to see more down the board. And here you can look and see there's a lot of double-digit gainers. That's good. We want that. What's up, Clem? Good to see you. What's my target for XRP? $4.50, and then we'll see from there. You know, I thought 125 was going to be the top of Bitcoin, which I've said many times. And I've also heard that 140 is in the range. I now think we're going to get to that 140. So maybe not. Maybe so, though. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so there you go. There's your top coins. Let's get into the news. A lot of interesting stuff here. The SEC approval, like, what are we looking for, guys? We're looking for signs. Like what is the most important job that we have right now, people in crypto? Most important job we have is to determine whether or not we are going to be going into a bear market or whether we're going to see something different. That's what everything boils down to, that. Because if we see traditional bear market, then we're all going to get absolutely wrecked, and the institutions will get wrecked to some extent, but they'll have buying orders, buying buys way down in crazy numbers that it might push it to. But on the other hand, we've got all of this stuff that's pro-crypto growth, right? SEC approval of listing standards can mainstream into ETFs. The SEC's proposed generic listing standards could streamline crypto ETF approvals from 240 days to just 60 to 75 days, opening doors for altcoin funds. That means somebody could file for an ETF today, and in 2 months, basically, they would be live. And that's huge, huge. But first, before that, though, we have to get Solana approved. We got to get the Solana ETF. So you're looking at the Solana story here, which I think we're going to go back to the other story in a minute. But they just had this new upgrade called Alpenglow. Is that how you say it? Alpenglow. I think it sounds good. But validators voted overwhelmingly in favor of the upgrade. The network will cut consensus finality from 12.8 seconds to roughly 0.15 seconds and push peak throughput above 100,000 transactions per second. That's a lot. You guys know how much Visa does? Like 1,700 transactions per second, I think, is what they do. So this will just show you how much the network would be being used if it can hit that. For context, their max theoretical throughput is 65,000 TPS, and its normal finality is 12.8 seconds. In late August stress tests, Solana briefly hit 107,540 TPS. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Okay, thank you for the super chat there. So why am I doing these stories together? Because Solana is going to be, let's see if it says here. Okay. NASDAQ level throughput for institutions. Solana has long pitched itself as the fastest layer one, major layer one anyways. Alpenglow makes that promise concrete. As one industry note puts it, current finality is far from NASDAQ level latency Solana aspires to. So the Alpenglow is explicitly designed for stock market speeds, sub-second finality, and huge throughput. Combination appeals to traders and tokenized finance, DeFi and RealFi. Now, here's the other thing for Solana, and you're just going to kind of see this web today. A web is, I guess, do you weave a web? Is that what you do? I'm going to weave a web here. I'm just going to show you guys really what's actually going on in these markets. That may not be necessarily price based, but it's just like the crypto and the institutional DeFi, it's getting so wound up so tight that I think when people really figure out what's happening here, you're going to realize I don't think we're getting our normal bear market. I do not think we're getting a normal bear market. We'll have to see what happens there. But I've never said this before. This is the first time I make fun of people who've said that the 4-year cycles don't work anymore. But the 4-year cycles will continue to work on some level because of the halving. But it's just, there's stocks, institutions, crypto, they're becoming one thing. They're becoming one thing. So I think crypto is the higher risk of, between stocks and crypto. It's a little bit higher risk, but we've seen some big volatility in the stock market as well. And maybe, we can see the same thing. I lost my train of thought. Okay. So the demand for Solana could pave the way for a fresh rush of capital. This is 2026, guys. They're talking about 2026. It's not that far away. Combined with ETF anticipation and big treasury flows, Solana finds itself riding multiple bullish catalysts into 2026. And I want to do something here, actually. I would like to put our Phemex. If you guys want to sign up with Phemex and trade where I trade, then you can go to Phemex.BitBoy.Deals. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So I'm going to leave that up for a little bit while we're going through these stories. Remind you guys, we have a trading competition coming up starting next week. So you're going to want to get in that. Do you think the bull market will continue into 2026, or do you think the top will be in 2025? Man, I tell you what, that is a really, really, really great question, to be honest with you. That's a really great question. Yeah, no, I think there's a good chance. Here's the hard thing. The hard thing is that October, November, December have traditionally been great for crypto, especially bull runs. So we have seen the top and the bottoms in quarter fours quite often. But I think we need to rethink the way we talk about bull markets. I think we need to think about the way that stock markets look at bull markets and bear markets and start adjusting our expectations to that. I think it's really, really, really strange, how all these are, all the stories are lining up. Here's the story, XRP Army. I am your master and commander. And I'm telling you, XRP will never crash 90% again, says Digital Ascension CEO. Sounded better when it was my quote. Jake Clover, CEO of Digital Ascension Group, a longtime XRP advocate, used a new video. Okay, I see. Used a new video published on September 3rd to deliver an unambiguous message to traders waiting for one last capitulation. He does not think a 90% collapse is coming back. I would love it too. I don't think it's going to happen, Clover said, arguing that the market already gave skeptics ample time to buy during the prolonged sub $1 range. When it was 50 cents, nobody wanted to buy it. You had 3 years to buy it at 50 cents or 30 cents or 40 cents, or whatever. It ain't coming back. And man, I agree with this. He says not in a single catalyst, but what he describes as a structural change to XRP's market microstructure. He repeatedly cites the role of spot exchange traded products, which Bloomberg James Seifert puts SEC approval in 2025 odds at 95%. And the execution algorithms used by institutional liquidity providers as a persistent source of demand that alters the asset's downside dynamics. It's going to be here because of the ETFs, or it's going to be sustained here because of the TWAP and the VWAP and them entering the market. They're not letting it come back down. And I believe that. I don't think it's going to go back down that much. He goes on, he talks more in this video. If you care about looking for this is on newsbtc.com. But my point here was really just to show we are getting an XRP ETF. We are getting a Solana ETF. And it's not going to be over a year. And we just looked at also how they're saying now They fixed the rules to where they could get approved in only 75 to 90 days. Is that what it said? No, 60 to 75 days. It could get approved. So that's something pretty crazy if you think about it. When we were used to waiting almost a year, it used to be almost a year just to get rejected. Now they're mostly getting approved, and they'll have to show some really strong evidence on why it shouldn't be approved if it wasn't going to be approved. But we all know with Trump in there, very bullish. That's good for us. You know, I just don't think we're having a regular bear market. I just don't think it's going to happen. I hope people don't make memes of me like I made memes of everybody else who says that. So anyways, SEC is considering a set of proposals from NASDAQ to adopt generic listing standards. Why this matters, each new filing can take 240 days or longer, involving rounds of public comment, staff review, and often prolonged uncertainty. Generic listing standards would cut times to 60 to 75 days, making bringing new products to the market far easier. Speed and efficiency would benefit every aspect of the sector. But wait, there's more, because we're just looking at this story. This story is all about how crypto is going into institutional hands, right? Crypto going into institutional hands. Now we have this where they're trying to get tokenized stocks in to us crypto people. It's like it's just like this. NASDAQ has filed for a rule change with SEC that would allow regulated exchanges in the US to trade tokenized stocks. What does this mean? Okay, you may not know this, but there are a lot of countries in the world, I think basically almost all of them except for Canada, that cannot trade our markets. They cannot trade stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. But tokenized versions of these products, they're trying to get approved to trade. We've already seen tokenized stocks. CZ has done it with Trust Wallet. We looked at a story the other day. There are synthetic stocks out there already. But what this specifically is referring to is tokenized stocks on regular exchanges as well, not just crypto exchanges. The exchange operator, NASDAQ, specifically asked to amend certain rules, including the definition of a security, to trade tokenized stocks under the same execution and documentation rules as traditional securities, provided the tokenized versions are deemed equivalent. So tokenized version, synthetic version, it's got to be legit. It can't be, just something random. It's got to be exactly tied to the asset, which is what they're saying here. Tokenized assets should be clearly labeled. So if you're going to go on NASDAQ and buy tokenized assets, definitely needs to be in a separate area. It doesn't need to be with the regular stocks. So NASDAQ steps up against siloed trading venues. Where were you? Where were you when I stood up against siloed trading venues? That's been the cry of my channel ever since it was started. Like, why do we want to have all this stuff separate? It all works together. And eventually, the stock market is going to be completely tokenized on blockchain. This is where everything is going. We haven't had a change like this to the markets ever. We've never had any changes like this to our markets, to where we're getting rid of siloed trading venues where everything will be able to be traded at once. So let's see here. Yeah, BB, this won't be a regular bear market. I like that. What's up, JC? Good to see you. We're not getting any comments on Twitter today. That's strange. Are we even on Twitter today? Maybe I just can't see the Twitter ones start. Oh, those are the ones that I start. Or not. Were there some super chats? If there were super chats, I missed them. One guy is talking about Pulse Chain. Another guy talking about someone misses me. Well, thank you. You don't have to miss me anymore. I'm here. Oh, my trade is winning now. I'm winning my trade. I'm up $114. This is unbelievable. Okay. Back over here. Okay, so that sets up everything. Let's look at crypto sentiment here. Crypto sentiment moves into fear as interest wanes on obscure altcoins. According to Sentiment. I'll get that. Tell you what. Where are the comments? I just want to see the regular comments. Blah. There we go. Okay. Happy birthday, Gregory Joseph II. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Happy birthday. Ninja Fourth, what's up? Ellie, good to see you all. Okay. Need to unclick this. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be back streaming. I've got a standing desk. I'm going to be standing up hopefully tomorrow. I've got to find the cord or get a cord for it. I'm so tired of sitting down, guys. I do not like sitting down for this long. Okay. Crypto sentiment has slipped into fear with signs showing that investors are temporarily stepping back from moving further down the risk curve. It's clear traders are less interested in obscure altcoins and are instead debating which major asset will break out next. Says the crypto market is increasingly focused on larger cap crypto assets such as Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. And the price remains indecisive. It comes amid growing calls from traders for an altcoin season. Go to Chuck E. Cheese for your birthday. That's cool. Let's see. It may not arrive until more crypto ETFs are potentially launched later this year. Meanwhile, on Sunday, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which measures overall market sentiment, posted a fear score of 44 after posting neutral readings over the previous 2 days. So this is crazy here. 74 last month, we're all the way down to 44 in the fear. That's good. That's a healthy spot. I don't think we want it to go all the way over here to the red, but we're going to look at some scenarios where that is true. It could be. Bitcoin price remains indecisive. The worst case, and a lot of people are saying this now, the worst case, we could see panic and fear losing 100K support level. Over the last month, Bitcoin is down 5.38%, while Ether is up 9.44%. Other indicators suggest the market is still moving down in the risk curve. The final shakeout for altcoins, says Trader. On Sunday, CMC's altcoin season index posted an altcoin season score of 56 out of 100. The indicator tips between altcoin season and Bitcoin season based on how the top 100 altcoins have performed against Bitcoin over the past 90 days. And you can see it has outperformed it, as you can see here. We are in the purple zone still, which is altcoin season. Meanwhile, MN Trading Capital founder Michael Van de Poppe said altcoins are extremely undervalued. I mean, it's time to heavy focus on Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, along with Bitcoin, right, in my mind. But then another person said something very interesting. They said anyone who thinks Bitcoin has to peak in Q4 this year does not understand statistics or probability, arguing that relying on 3 previous halving cycles doesn't provide enough statistically significant data. Well, I would really push back against that and say, oh, okay, happy birthday, early birthday. I would say, in my opinion, that I agree. We don't have to peak in Q4. And this is the same stuff that I've been telling you now for about a week. It really is something that, I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for these days when the cycle would be over. It'll never be over. It's always going to be more bullish around the halvings, I have to think. I have to think it is. All right, next. Bitcoin serves volatility catalysts as key U.S. macro data combines with increasing worries over a BTC price capitulation event. We're going to talk more about what these people are saying about where Bitcoin is going. Bitcoin price action coils below 112,000 over the weekend, but fears of a 10% correction or worse are mounting. CPI week is here. This article's got a lot. Let's just jump to it. Bitcoin managed to avoid volatility around its latest weekly close. That's good. $112,000 remains a key target among traders hoping for a resistance support flip. Analyzing exchange order book liquidity, popular trader Crypt Nuevo flagged 106,700 as an important level to the downside, right below $107,000, which we've told you the 7,000s are very important, or the 8,000s are important. Sevens are important as well because they're in between the 6 and the 8. I don't know if you heard, but 7, 8, 9. Okay. If the previous range lows continue to be resistance, price will attempt to hit liquidation at 106.7K. People are now focused or having attention, and they're focusing on how low Bitcoin USD could drop in a potential capitulation event. 100,000 is a favorite line in the sand, with Fibonacci retracement levels now confluent with the retest of that level as a worst case scenario. So this is really where the rubber meets the road here. Like, are we going to see another big drop from Bitcoin? Because if we do, it's probably going to right to $100,000. And the thing is, the Fibonacci retracement shows that's confluent now with a retest of the level. So if it were to go all the way back down to $100,000, what I think one thing that's important is we get out of this mindset of this is the only chance we have for Bitcoin to make new all-time highs is to make it this year. Go back to 2024. It made a new all-time high in 2024, or maybe it was late 20. When did it make its first all-time high? I think it was in January or February, something like that, where it passed over 70,000 for the first time. And it has really been above that for the most part ever since. And so right now, I guess it'd be a $12,000 dip from here. This is what people are saying is the worst. They say we're going to go down there and come back potentially. Based on cycle default correction percentage time taken to hit lows from a local top, BTC could see a 30% correction from the local top of 124K, and that would put it at 87,000. Excuse me, which I don't think we're going to 87,000. But if we lose the $100,000 level, it certainly could. High cycle is presently at 191K. High cycle top indicator? I don't know what that is. Okay. CPI comes with Fed behind the curve. And the one thing we haven't been talking about is the rate cut, right? We'll get to that here in a little bit. But some classic U.S. economic data prints are due out this week, the PPI and the CPI, which is just ways they package the numbers to look how they want them to look, will be released on Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. Inflation is on the rise, while signs of labor market weakness are increasing a headache for the Federal Reserve, but one that markets believe they've already known the response to. I'm about to have a cat face-off over here, I think, potentially. Maybe a cat face-off. But anyways, data from the FedWatch tool shows that the odds of the Fed cutting interest rates at its September meeting next week are fully priced in. There's even a fledgling chance of the cut being larger than 0.25%. So this is what they're looking at for the rate cut. They're looking for a 0.25% rate cut, 25 bips. However, the odds of 375 to 400 have been growing. It was at 0% back in August, and now it's at almost 10%. And I would love the idea of them cutting half a percent, 50 bips. That would be absolutely amazing for us in the crypto world. And I think maybe we'll see that depending on what comes on in the CPI and the PPI numbers and things like that. But you can look here. Here's a chart that shows if you go back to August 8th, 1 month, it was at 0%. Go back to August 28th, 0%. September 5th, 11%. Right now we're seeing it 9.9%. So this is the one-day high, which is 89 to 11. So the rate cuts will be very, very bullish for everything that exists, I think. Let's see. There's some bank cuts, recession fears. Yeah, there have been some people that have been stroking some fears, some of that we're going into a recession. I just don't think that's happening right now. I don't think it's going to happen for a while. Buzz around an institutional capital rotation from Bitcoin into the largest altcoin, Ether, already appears to be cooling. So we were looking at Ethereum, an Ethereum land grab by all the institutions, and now it seems to be over. It seems to be, Bitcoin is back on their mind, which is good. We need Bitcoin to go up. So here are the ETPs. So you can see how much more Bitcoin than Ethereum is involved in this. Bitcoin bear whales are back. When it comes to the largest Bitcoin investors, the trend is giving on-chain analytics for platform CryptoQuant cause for concern. Whales are reducing their Bitcoin exposure in recent market distribution rivals the last bear market in 2022. In the last 30 days, whale reserves have fallen by more than 100,000 Bitcoin, signaling intense risk aversion among large investors. So what does all this mean? What does all this mean? Well, in my opinion, I think it basically means that we're going to see more downside action, I believe. I think we are. Are we going to see it go all the way to 100K? No. Could we see it go back to 106.7 and bounce back up? Yes. I think that's probably what we'll see. I think if we are going to see a big bear market style drop, then I think that Bitcoin's got to get higher than it is now, or excuse me, higher than it got to 124. Here it's already down. What's it down? If it gets down to $100,000, that's down 30%. That's typical bear market stuff. And so I think at some point, maybe this month or maybe next month, we've got all these people saying that, like, no matter what, it's going to be bullish because it's October and November and December. And I'm one of those people saying that should be what we see. But this cycle has been so much different than every other cycle. And because of that, basically because we got a new all-time high for Bitcoin, like before the halving, I think that is what has set everything off. That has set everything off. And the institutions are, they're really moving the market in very interesting ways right now. So let's see here. I thought people on Twitter were commenting, and now, yeah, interesting. Is that Gary in the cage? No, that's Liz. Gary. Lysandra. Yeah. E sold Bitcoin XRP. Oh, that is somebody from Twitter. Finally saw somebody from Twitter in the comments. And 200K could be the new 100K. Well, let's get to 150 first. Get to 150 and then 200 would be next after that. So, all right, let's go back to the screen here. There we go. All right, is there anything else in this article I want to? No, there isn't. Okay. All right, let's look at Trump's family. Trump's family wealth grew by $1.3 billion following ABTC and WL5 WorldFi debuts report. The Trump family fortune soared this week amid heightened volatility, but the price of ABTC and WLFI, that's the American Bitcoin company, by the way, has since retraced by double digits. Family of the president grew their collective wealth by $1.3 billion this week amid the trading debut of mining company American Bitcoin and gains from World Liberty Financial, a decentralized finance DeFi protocol linked with the Trump family. World Liberty Financial has added $670 million to the Trump family's net worth, and Eric Trump's stake in ABTC, which he co-founded, was valued at over $500 million following the trading debut of ABTC on Wednesday. But we haven't even looked at the charts yet. I'll get there in just a second. Calculation measured the family's net worth using market prices when ABTC shot up to $14 before collapsing 50% to a low of 6.24. How do you guys feel about all the stuff that the Trump family is doing in crypto? Put that in a comment. Put it in a comment. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's go to. So weird. Products, supercharts. This is not my normal account. I don't know why I'm not in the account I should be in. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Okay. Now let me unshare this. Move. Share screen. I need to move it out here. Nope. Cancel. 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. Trading view. We do have this big trade competition coming up, by the way, on Phemex starting on Monday next week. So make sure that you guys come join in that. Okay. Let's see. Why is that so tiny? What did this thing just do? What in the world? Why am I so tiny? Oh, because I'm in the wrong one. That's one. That's one. Nope. Hold on just 1 second, guys. Let me remove this. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Okay. All right, I think I've got everything right here. I don't know why it's doing that. And don't forget, if you want to join our trading group, it is Traders.MC. No, I'm sorry. It's Traders.bitboy.deals, and we also have Market Cipher. I should put that in here while we look at the charts. Real quick. I don't know why this is doing this. There we go. Okay. All right. That's much better. Oh, and there's the comments. That's where I want to be. I don't know what that means. Okay. So MC. All right. There we go. If you guys are interested in checking out Market Cipher, which is what we trade with here, we love the Market Cipher B especially, as you can see. Okay. These are my lines that I drew a long time ago. And it's going right in the middle, right in between them here. What I put my low at 100K. I mean, that's what I got my low at is 100K. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, though, because that one confuses people. Oh, here's some lines that we drew that panned out. We saw it bounce here. Now I got that long. Right now I'm on a short, as I explained. Bitcoin right now is coming in $112,365. What chart are we on? We're on the 4-hour. Now, could this be an inverse head and shoulders? Could be. Could be. You got a head, got a shoulder, got a shoulder. I don't know. I don't know. I'll take a look at that. Really?
Yeah, go look at your screen.
Covers the whole thing.
No, it's really big.
Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Oh, I got you. So what I did here is I put on that, and now the people can't see the chart. We want you to be able to see the chart for sure. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Share this tab instead. All right. Let's go. Let's check out the hour, see what Bitcoin's doing. See, here's the thing. You get a higher high, a higher high, a low.
I can't see that, but
Okay.
you've got a different chart. I'm gonna send
Is it this one?
I'm gonna send it to you on your phone. Okay, now you can see it.
Now?
No.
Okay. Anyways, guys, the charts are not working right for me today. I'm on a new setup. I'm using 2 computers. I think it actually made me more confused. I thought it would help me keep things a little bit better. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have my, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with a much smoother process. We've got a new location. We changed rooms. You guys may, from time to time, get to see my beautiful lizard. I think I'm going to get my beautiful lizard. I can get her. Thank you, sweet.
You can have her up tomorrow during the show.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
My lizard, Lysandra, is she's sleeping right now. So, okay, let's see. Let me look over here. Yeah, it's Liz. Gary, we had a second version. We had a Gary V2, and unfortunately, Gary V2 went to the large lizard heaven in the sky. So, but anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. Like I said, tomorrow, and then I got one day, like Thursday, I think we won't be streaming. Yeah, Thursday I won't be able to stream, but outside of that, good to see you guys as always. Have a good day. Be blessed. BitBoy out.